All right, welcome to another episode of the Bulldog Bark. I'm yours truly, the Guru. Unfortunately, BFC could not join us today. He is a little under the weather, but we got a very special guest in the building. New Butler Bulldog plays for the name on the front and the back of his jersey. Yame Butler. Yame, how you doing, man?
Hey man, I'm glad to be on here. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you hopping on, man. It's been exciting getting to meet all the new dogs this year. So looking forward to talking to you a little bit today. Obviously, I speak on behalf of Butler Nation. Super excited to have you on board. Obviously, we ran with the whole, Butler on the front and the back of the jersey. You were meant to be a dog,
Mhm.
man. You were meant to be a dog. But
Yeah.
but hey, so talk to us a little bit, kind of off the bat here. So obviously, you had your years at Drexel, right? And kind of talk to us about, okay, you got into the transfer portal. First of all, talk to us about that process, and then kind of dive in. Okay, you have all these schools looking at you. What ultimately made you decide to be a Butler Bulldog?
hmm Yeah, so um I really was persuaded by the family type feel I got from the coaching staff. Like coach brought me to his house. His wife was catering to us. Like I felt like I was treated like I've never been going over any of my friends' houses. So it was definitely a different experience seeing how all the coaches get along with each other, how the players get along with the coaches. That's something like big for me because coming from Drexel where I was for 3 years, I built like a relationship with guys that, like we became a family. So leaving it was very hard for me. And then what made it very like welcoming to me is feeling like I'd go somewhere else that still has that family type feel to it. So yeah.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. And I
Mhm.
will definitely say, as someone who has graduated from Butler, I still live in the kind of the Butler area. You won't find a better school that plays high competition, right? But is like a very family oriented school. So you picked the
Mhm.
right spot for sure. For,
Mhm.
for, for people that don't know much about your game, maybe talk a little bit about. We'll start with kind of what do you think are some big assets that you're bringing to the Butler Bulldogs? What are the strong points of your game on the court?
Mhm. I know for sure I'm a jack of all trades. So I know I'm really good finishing around the rim for sure, and that's something that's very highlighted when it comes to high play. But my jump shot has been like really good too. But this last season, my percentage like went down like towards the end of the season. I dealt with a few wrist injuries, so flicking was constant pain. But yeah, like I feel like it's not really a place that you could put me on the court where I'm not going to be able to perform. So yeah.
Yeah, and that's definitely I'm an addict to Butler basketball. I'm gonna be honest with you. So like I've been toying with all these rosters and stuff. I'm like, man, y'all make a play there, you go there. I was like, so yeah, so I think Jack of all trades definitely describes you well
Mhm,
because I feel like you
mhm,
can play, that 2-3 position feels like a perfect
mhm,
spot for you, right? But
mhm,
um and then maybe obviously making the jump from Drexel to Butler, right? The Big East, I'm biased, best conference in the world, right? Like it just is. And you look at these teams, I mean, they're loading up with talent, right? Like I mean, St. John's has signed some dudes today, Providence has signed some dudes, UConn's
mhm,
UConn, right? What are maybe some of the things that you think will either be a challenge or some things that you are looking forward to improving on as you make that jump to the Big East level?
Um, I know. I really like another thing that went into me choosing where to go was knowing I could go somewhere that's going to like develop me, and the strength and conditioning coach, Coach Ty,
Yeah.
like I could tell just by going on a visit, having the little meetings with him that he's about business. So,
Yeah.
one thing I'm looking forward to the most is just like getting my athleticism to like the next level. So, like throughout the whole year, I'll be able to jump and whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Ty's a good dude, and he came from St. John, so he's been Big East. He's a Big East guy. But
Mhm.
yeah, no, for sure. I mean, yeah, there's some big bodies in the Big East. I'm not gonna lie to you, big
Yeah,
bodies, right, man?
yeah.
Um, so you know, reading Akeem's in the Indy Star his article about you. Talk to us a little bit about kind of it was a great article, by the way, great interview.
Mhm.
I really appreciate you sitting down with him.
Mhm.
Kind of talk to us about kind of some of your role models and how what's kind of shaped you growing up. I know we read about your sister and your dad.
Mhm.
I definitely want to talk about the Butler Mile, but yeah,
Uh,
talk to us about maybe some of your role models growing up and kind of what got you to this point.
yeah, my dad was definitely my biggest role model coming up. He always was like the guy in charge of a recreation center that I've grown up at, where he's trained multiple D1 players, multiple professional players overseas, and some in the NBA right now. Like, it's definitely like it's definitely been like I've always knew what I wanted. I always knew what I would get out of this basketball stuff, coming up under somebody who has already coached and trained so much greatness.
Yeah.
So, it was that's the biggest thing. He's probably definitely my role model.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
And then obviously, in the article we saw, unfortunately, your sister passed away at
Hmm.
13. How did that kind of mold kind of the person you are today, and kind of that everything I hear and read about you is your work ethic. How did that translate into kind of that work ethic you have today?
Hmm. Yeah. I will say, before that happened, like I definitely like wasn't as motivated. I went through spurts, whatever, where, like I wasn't really that um dialed into basketball. I was kind of like on and off, kind of wanted to hang out with friends rather than go work out and stuff. And um, throughout that whole situation, it happened pretty quick. It was like a 5 to 7 month span where everything just happened. And uh, it really like changed my perspective on things. And, I always regretted the fact that I felt like she never got to see my best me or whatever. So, after that happened, it really changed something in me and it made me like lock in even more, like on a whole different level than I ever could before. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I got to ask, like I said, about the Butler Mile because it just sounds so perfect. I mean, obviously, the last I'm going to go back to it. The Butler name, it just sounds great. Talk to us about that drill because I need to know more about it. The Butler Mile, what is that?
Well, it's of course we're on the track going for a mile distance. But each one is 4 laps and each one you have a different move that you're doing for the whole entire lap. So it's a two ball handling drill. So you go the first one is like dribble cross, next one dribble behind the back, next one is between cross, then between behind. And yeah, it gets you real tired. That's definitely one that like, people hate coming from the wreck. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So so after I saw that, I was like, okay, I got to figure out what this thing is. So I'm digging in. I'm looking at all these like YouTube videos of you, and I see like there's like 10 of them, and every single one of them it's like a two-ball drill, and I'm like, damn, this dude like it's like
Yeah.
you're doing more two balls than I can do with one. And I'm like, this sucks, but like diving in a little bit just to like get to know you stuff, right? So we know you're a basketball player. We know you played at Drexel. We know you're coming to Butler. We're excited to have you here. What are maybe some hobbies that you have that are outside or off the court that maybe the Butler fans don't know about?
Hmm. I just got into it this year with a few of my roommates from Drexel. And we just started making music at the beginning of the year. Like,
Uh,
yeah, so like we have our own little makeshift studio. It's kind of run down. It's not anything professional, but we have fun in there. So
yeah.
that's what it's really about. We just go in there, make some stuff. Have a ball.
Now I need to know. Do you guys have like a group name or something like that, or
We
just
do have a group name.
what is it?
I can't release
You
that yet. I
can't,
can't release that yet. I can't
can't
do
let
it
that
yet.
get out there yet. All right. Well,
Yeah.
if the basketball career ends at any point, you make sure to hop back on. You let me know what it is. I'll be sure to
Hmm.
advertise it to the world, man. We'll get
I
that out
got you.
there.
I
All
got
right. So yeah, yeah.
you.
Awesome. So speaking of music, kind of what kind of music do you like to listen to?
Hmm.
Maybe like who's your favorite artist these days, and what do you like to listen to get pumped up before like a game or practice or anything like that?
Yeah. I love hip hop. I love R&B. If I had to choose which one I listen to more often is probably R&B. Um, some slow like I've been really like changing over the years to where like before I always would listen to some hype stuff and like now I've just gotten into the more peaceful music. So I've been hearing like a lot of artists like you probably never heard of her before, but it's an artist called Bia Badoobie. That's her
Yeah,
name.
you can't.
Yeah.
I was about to do.
Yeah.
I was about to say I probably heard because I like hip hop R&B. I was like I probably have heard of it. What are you gonna
Nah.
go? That one? No, I don't know that
Yeah,
one.
no. This is outside of the realm of even R&B. It's just like some random UK Asian girl who, she sings and it's just calm. It's calm, That's all
Yeah,
it's about.
I need you to. I need how spell that real quick. How do you spell that?
Be of a doobie. Shoot. BeaBaDoobee, I think.
if you actually nailed that, that'd be actually the most
Yeah,
impressive thing
I
I can do
think,
for you.
I
I'm gonna
think.
check that out now. And actually, talking to Diesel last time, Drayton Jones, he said that he's big. So his big thing is that he goes for walks. And he's like, I need to clear my head. I might have to recommend that you, or you should recommend that to
Mm,
him. Put it in the ears. You
yeah,
go
it's
for a
calm.
walk. He's like cleared out, man. Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So how about like what kind of food you like? What kind of restaurants you like? Because obviously, being in Indy, it's not the same thing as the East Coast, man. So I'm going to warn you. You know, I will say this. I'll say this. Indy. So I'm actually a Chicago guy, but I've been here now for like
Mm-hmm.
15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'll say Indy has one of the most underrated food scenes of any city I've been to. Like, there's a lot of good
For real?
local spots. Oh, for real, I promise you. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good local spots here that you wouldn't expect it because just you don't think like Indy is the food capital of the world or something like that, right? But
Mm-hmm.
what kind of food do you like? What kind of restaurants you like? We can point you in the right direction.
Shoot, I love Italian food. I came down there and Coach Pagese took me on. He took me on. I forgot where the place was. He took me to dinner at some Italian spot that was Elmo's. I think it was maybe
What, St.
Elmo's.
Elmo?
Yeah,
Oh
baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
bougie. All right, yes, I
Yeah.
got you.
Nah.
Yes.
That
So
was really good.
yeah, yeah. That's a fine one. That's like top notch. All right. Yeah. There's
He
some
took me
good
there.
ones. So Broad Ripple's like right off the strip. Like Mama Corolla's is it's a pretty
Mm-hmm.
expensive, but it's still a pretty nice spot. There you got some decent Italian spots like right off Butler's campus, but it ain't quite St. Elmo's. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's top tier. That's a
Nah.
that's a well-known one in the Midwest area. So but yeah, no, we'll make sure to get you some spots. But and then how about like it could be college or NBA. Let's go NBA. Who's your favorite NBA player to watch, or two or three,
Favorite NBA player to watch.
or
Um,
when I say watch, who's your favorite NBA player?
yeah. It used to be Kevin Durant a while ago before he did that, trade from OKC to Golden State. But after that, it kind of, I was always a big LeBron fan, the GOAT. But
Yeah,
like I never really considered him my favorite. I just knew his greatness. So
yeah,
I think my favorite is probably right now either Anthony Edwards or Kyrie Irving. One of them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think what Jalen said Kevin Durant, and then Diesel. I couldn't even finish the question. And Diesel said LeBron, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
my bad.
Nah, I understand it. I understand.
You got a couple LeBron, like obviously the go. I agree, go, but like you have to. Uh, but Jack McCaffrey also, we interviewed him like when he signed like last year, and
Mhm.
he said literally, if you find a bigger LeBron fan than me, I challenge you. And I'm like, that, I'm gonna find one. And then Jalen Thomas, who the former Butler Bulldog, he also said the same thing. I'm like, y'all can duke it out. I don't care. But how about what's like your favorite sneaker or game shoe to play in?
Shoot, my favorite. I really like playing in PGs.
Yeah,
Shoot, what's my favorite? I had a great pair. Oh, I didn't bring them in here. I think as of right now, PGs and Kobe's. It might be Kobe's
yeah,
at this point, but I just got put onto some shoes, GT cut something that are like some newer shoes out, and they actually are pretty cool. But
yeah.
yeah, probably Kobe's. I'll go with Kobe's. Yeah,
I feel like that's a common response. Yeah.
yeah,
Can't go wrong with Perry Kobe.
yeah.
It's what it is, right? The and then real quick, so obviously we asked fans who DM'd us a bunch of questions. I got pull up. I got them in the DMs. I got them in comments. So let me find a couple things. But obviously one of the main questions from some fans, and it's like I don't know how you're gonna answer this, but it's basically was like, were you excited about playing for the name on the front and the back of the jersey, or did that impact your decision at all? So I don't know.
I'm I'm not going to lie. Being 100% truthful, like me and my dad since a child, like my dad was always like a Butler fan, but he only was a Butler fan back then because like, oh yeah, I'm a Butler, like
Yeah,
but we always talked about like, yeah, man, like can you imagine if you go there and the Butler's on the front and the back? Like that was a big thing for my childhood.
yeah,
And it's actually crazy how everything worked out, man. When they reached out to me and everything. I was like, "Yo, Dad, like you hear this?" Like, and it was definitely it was definitely something that persuaded me. It wasn't like the biggest factor, but it definitely had a effect on me. So yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely for sure. And I'm reading through some of these things right now. It looks like we covered actually. I got like three or four more fan questions, but it looks like
Mhm.
most of them kind of we covered now. We talked about the stuff from the family in the past. We just talked
Mhm.
about once again, believe it or not, once again the Butler part to that playing back. I swear that was like I'm not kidding you. I got probably like in total with comments and DMs, I probably got like seven times. Like, how do you feel about Butler and Butler? I'm like, it was the same thing with Diesel last time. I mean, with Diesel, it was like, how do you get the nickname Diesel? I was like, all
Yeah.
right, I guess I'm asking this right now. Um,
About that though,
yeah,
I will be dropping some merch that will have
yes,
like the
yes.
Butler Squared thing on it. It will have Butler Squared on
Ooh,
it.
I
Yeah.
like,
So
yes.
yeah,
Oh
it's
yeah,
gonna be a
no.
lot of
Hey,
cool stuff.
the minute you get that out,
I
we're gonna
got
get
you. I
that
got
going.
you.
We're gonna get that going. Yeah. Let's see. We got that one. That one. Check. So I guess here's like finally found one that wasn't maybe already touched upon on some of the stuff we talked about
Mhm.
before. But Butler, one of Butler's biggest is not you, one of Butler
Yeah, 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 I get it.
biggest issues last year. They actually were really good offensively. One of the biggest problems for us was our defense. We had some problems
Mhm.
on defense. I think like Ken Palm, we were like 48th in offense, but like
Mhm.
150th in defense or something like
Mhm.
that. So like we would lose games like 90 to 88, which
Yeah.
yeah, right. And so,
Mhm.
um, one question was, do you feel, or what do you feel defensively you can bring to the squad compared to? Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, I definitely like within the last like 3 years of being at Drexel, each year I got better and better defensively. So within this last year right here, I've been my best defensively, and I took it as a personal challenge every time. My matchup, I don't want him scoring. Like I was making sure if I'm on the top guy, I don't if he's averaging 15, I'm not trying to let him get more than like
yeah,
2 4 points. So I'm ready. I can also bring like the physicality too. Like I can guard 1 through 4. Um, I'm definitely going to bring a lot on the defensive end. Yeah.
love it, man. And actually, I just found two more. Um, what was it like seeing several of your teammates also go high major? Which is
hmm
yeah,
Yeah, I've been blessed to play around so many talented guys, and there'll be more coming. Some more of my friends next year who will be going high major. I'm pretty sure too, but um, it definitely felt great. Everybody's doing the best for themselves. Shout out my boy Cole Hargrove, who's also
yeah,
going to Providence. Yeah,
yeah.
can't wait
Feed
to
them,
play
feed
him.
them.
Can't
Yeah,
wait. Can't wait
take
for
care of
that. Can't
business.
wait for that.
I take care of business there, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. And I felt like every time I saw, because again, I'm an addict. I'm staring at the portal all day long, and I saw like Drexel. I'm like, damn, how many Drexel guys are there on here today? But
Yeah.
yeah, so, yeah, definitely take them. Another one. Are there any Big East arenas or opponents you're looking forward to playing? I guess you just did. Obviously, we're looking forward to playing Providence, right? But
Yeah.
any other ones? Any other ones?
Um. Shoot, I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited to play against everybody. The most is probably definitely Providence.
Yeah,
But like I'm excited to play everybody in the Big East. Really, really just show everybody what I got.
for sure, man, for sure.
Hmm
And obviously, the Big East tournaments in Madison Square Garden, which you can't go wrong there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm
like, and I'll be honest. I'm super biased, but you got the best field house in all of America, Hinkle Fieldhouse.
I got.
No, man. So that's pretty much what everything that I had listed out here, and then everything. Again, most of the fan questions are related to your name. I'm sorry, that's just what it was.
That's fine.
But
Mhm.
no, man. I appreciate you hopping on here. It's always fun to get to know some of the new guys.
Mhm.
Can't what you get? What day? When do you guys get to campus?
So they start their next summer session June 2nd or 3rd,
Okay,
and I don't graduate until the 12th. So I'm going to still fly out like June 2nd, and
okay,
because I don't want to miss those weeks of working out, and then I'm gonna just fly back for graduation and then
gotcha,
come back up.
gotcha.
So yeah,
Awesome.
June 2nd I'll be up there.
Awesome, man. Awesome, man. Yeah. Again, super excited to have you on campus, man. Super excited and appreciate you hopping on.
Hmm
Please like to end these with a little go dogs.
Yes, sir. Go dogs, man. I can't wait.